Cattails 18. I live on a ranch in southwest Colorado. Our place is not ideal for kitties, so it's best if a person does not get attached, that person being me. My husband likes to have cats for the practical reason of keeping down the mice population. I do too, but my daughter and I would get so attached to the cute little fur balls. We were devastated time and again as, one by one, our little kitties disappeared. One of our cow dogs would kill them if she could catch them. We lived close to the dirt road, and they would get run over. Coyotes frequented our property, and I could only guess that is what happened to others. Finally, we had a cat named Pretty who had longevity. We didn't get too attached to her because she was an outdoor cat and so very cautious. She was a great mouser and good company during gardening season. However, we had to make a move to another home close by. I wasn't sure if she would come with us or stay in her familiar shed. After we moved, it was obvious our mouser was content where she was in her old home. I decided I would get a couple of kitties to be mousers at our new place. I didn't want to get attached, so they had to be outdoor kitties. I wasn't going to pet them very much because I wanted them to be a little shy of people. They would stay in the woodshed. And when they disappeared, I wouldn't be devastated because I would not be attached. I brought the cute little fur balls home. I wanted females. My second cousin said, "Yep, this one is a girl and this one is a girl." When it was time to get them spayed, the vet said one had to be neutered. The female was short-haired and black with a couple of small white spots. The male tabby was long-haired with brown and gray stripes. After a few days with my new kitties and my prevention plan in place, all was well. I barely knew the kitties were there. They hid from me when I fed them, and they were very worried about our new cow dog, Boots. Our kitty murderer was no longer with us. However, there was one factor I did not consider in my plan. She was about 3 feet tall and 25 pounds, with blonde hair and green eyes, my granddaughter Sky. She found out that Grandma had kitties. Sky is the true kitten whisperer. It took her one day to have those kitties coaxed out of the woodshed, purring, and sharing her sandwich. She packed those kitties everywhere and hugged and loved them. She brought them to the porch, and Grandpa joined in. They played with the kitties together almost every day. I would go out to feed the kitties, of course, they were on the porch. I took them to the woodshed and fed them there, because if they were on the porch, I would get attached. They purred and rubbed around my legs. I pet them only a little bit, because they liked it. I picked them up and talked to them, but not too much. I was worried about Boots. He always acted funny around the kitties. He would stare at them and move ever so slowly close to them. The kitties got to where they half ignored it. I would scold the dog to quit staring at the kitties and go lie down. One day the kitties were playing in the bushes and Boots gently reached through the bushes and pulled them out. My husband said, "Come look at this." That cow dog didn't want them going behind things, and he tried to herd them here and there. It finally got to where the kitties slept with him in the doghouse. Well, my kitties weren't half wild. They didn't stay in the woodshed, even though I still fed them there. They were so spoiled, I didn't even know if they would be good mousers. And they weren't afraid of our cow dog. Maybe they thought they were dogs. They ate with the dog. They followed my husband everywhere right along with the dog. But one thing I knew. I was not attached. I came home from work later than usual one night. The kitties weren't on the porch like they normally were. I thought they must be doing kitty things about this time and went in to bed. The next morning I got up later than my husband, who was already out doing chores. I stepped out to the porch, but there were no kitties. Maybe they were with him. My husband finally came in, and I asked him about the kitties. He hadn't seen them since yesterday afternoon when they'd walked with him and the dog to the pond. To the pond! I yelled. They had never gone that far before. I immediately changed my clothes and headed for the pond. I called, "Here kitty, kitty," over and over again. How could my husband be so careless? There were eagles, coyotes, and other dogs out in the field. I called and called while at the pond. I looked in all directions. I knew they were lost, if not already dead. I felt so terrible. Those were my kitties. I hauled them into the vet to be fixed. I fed them. I protected them from dogs. I saved them when the grandkids got too rough. I was attached. I loved those little kitties, and now they were gone. I was devastated. I was so angry at myself because I'd gotten attached. It's just not worth it because kitties don't live long on a ranch with our circumstances, I said aloud. I slowly moped my way back to the house. I was going to give my husband what for when I saw him. I checked the ditch on my way back, just in case, no kitties. I entered the yard heavy-hearted, not knowing what might have happened to them. As I rounded the corner of the house, aching and on the verge of tears, I glanced at movement toward the doghouse. I hadn't thought to look in the doghouse. Out came Stripe, the tabby kitty, and Sally Anna, the black kitty. I stopped in my tracks and just stared for a few seconds. Then this tremendous relief and overwhelming joy came over me. They were here and okay. I picked them up and loved them. They, too, were overjoyed by the attention, and wondering why the sudden flood of affection from someone who was not attached. Well, we still have those kitties, now cats. They are excellent mousers. Sally Anna also keeps the bunny population down. I forgave my husband, and, yes, I am very attached to Stripe and Sally Anna. They are a part of our family.